Good day to you all, guys and girls. This is Mike here on Mike64, and I've just got back from Gamepolis in Malaga, Spain. And so I wanted to do an opinions video of my thoughts of Gamepolis. What did I feel about it? Well, I had a really, really good time. I went there for 2 days out of the 3. The third day I didn't go because I really need to catch up on some stuff from what I've learnt over the last couple of days. So it was really, really good fun. I enjoyed it. I've been going for the last 3 years. So this is my third time in going, and it just gets bigger and better every single time. I went there as press, which is the second year running. The first time I didn't, but the last 2 years I've been going as a Prinsad, with my name printed on it as well. And there was a lot of other media that was there that didn't have their names printed on it. I'm going to take it off because it started to sweat around my neck. Unfortunately, it's about 36 to 38 degrees here, and it is sweltering. I'm going to take the hat off as well, if you don't mind. I think you know more or less the channel you're watching now. Had a haircut because, like I said, it is getting hot here, and it's just becoming unbearable to have my big, thick locks. So I've just had to take the whole lot off, unfortunately. Very, very sad, depressing moment. I'm like Samson. I just can't game without my locks. That doesn't sound right, does it? Anyway, moving on. I'm the Samson of the gaming world, okay? You know, Samson, and when he has his haircut, he loses his strength. Well, if I have my haircut, I can't game. Or anything, rather. But anyway, moving on from that. We're not here to talk about my hair. We're here to talk about Gamepolis. So, moving on. Like I said, it's held in Malaga in the Palacio de Ferias, which is a very, very large venue that hosts many events, including gaming, manga, tattoos, all sorts of things. And it is officially sponsored by Nintendo Iberica or Nintendo Spain. It's been the official partner for the last 2 or 3 years now. I said that quietly, not so that nobody could hear me. It's just I'm trying to remember whether it's true or not. At least last year and this year, it's the official sponsor. That I know for certain. I was there, and I've attended both press events, and it was great. Actually, it was really, really good. This year, I managed to go as well. They gave us a special presentation of Astral Train, which was the same presentation which my brother Jack saw at the Nintendo UK private event, not 2 or 3 weeks before, which was hosted by the same person. So, you know, Filippo, hello, from Nintendo Europe. I say hello, Jack says hello, we all say hello. My thoughts on Astral Chain. When I first saw it, I wasn't too over the moon for it. I just thought, this is like a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 clone, isn't it? You know, where you have your driver and your blade, whereas in this, you and your legion. And your legion's the one that does the fighting, and you're held back, and you can fight too. You can both fight independently. They fight automatically, and you fight as yourself. So you can choose between swords, guns, axes, archers, you know, all sorts of things. Difference is in this, you can actually, there are 5 legions you can obtain or unlock, and you can actually use 2 at a time. You unlock or unchain one of your legions. They can go fight off independently, and you can bring another one out and you fight alongside with them. So that's a nice little addition. As regards to the investigation side of it, because you are a member of an elite police force. Sorry, just a little bit of a trapped air there. I hope you didn't pick it up on the microphone. Sorry. So the investigative part of it, where you have to, you know, go to crime scenes and analyze them and listen in, that was really, really good fun. It reminds me a lot of like Batman Arkham Knight, and after speaking with my editor and brother Jack, he says it's also got a lot of like elements like Detective Pikachu in there as well, because he's actually played all of these games. So, you know, the investigative part, finding clues and stuff like that. A good thing with Astral Chain is that you can actually eavesdrop in on other people's conversations with your legion, because your legion is invisible to like the naked eye or whatever. So you can, if you go up to people and not responding to you, or not, you know, talking to you, they don't want to tell you the truth, well, you just come away and you like send your legion in, and he can eavesdrop on them, he or she. they, they can eavesdrop and listen to the conversation. Then you report to your boss and you can give them what you have learned. Good stuff, great stuff. Looking forward to it now. I wasn't so much before, but I'm looking forward to it now. I actually got hands-on to play Link's Awakening, also Pokemon Sword and Shield, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Now, that's a mouthful. Try saying that 3 times fast. Luigi's Mansion 3, I absolutely loved. I really, really did. The graphics to it are beautiful. The gameplay is just great. There are a couple of things I would really, really like to tweak, and I hope that there is button mapping to it, because otherwise it's going to be very, very complicated. The animations of Luigi, how he behaves, how he reacts as well, it's just gives it so much personality, the game, and being able to swap between Luigi and his coffee/ectoplasmic doppelganger Gooigi to solve puzzles and things, and there are secrets and hidden areas and all sorts. Really, really good fun. Great fun. Really, really enjoyed it. Going through the levels. I mean, the one in the demo was... The one in the demo is where you actually go up against like a knight or king knight, a medieval themed. So you're going through like torture chambers and dungeons and things like that, and then you have to sort of like go up against the actual boss himself right at the end of the demo, and he's a jousting on top of like a phantom horse. Great fun. Like I said about gameplay, it can be a bit fiddly, the controls. Now, the reason is when the plunger is on the Y button, it's attached to the Y button, so you actually fire the plunger like an arrow, which is all well and good if you're looking in the right direction that you want to go, but some of these ghosts are quite fast moving and they'll actually go around you, so trying to keep up with them with the right joystick, which as you can kind of guess with your right hand on the buttons, it's just not going to reach. Like, for example, here, if you've got your thumb on the Y button, for example, how do you reach the right stick to move around, sort of thing? But anyway, I'm sure, hopefully, that will be looked at a later date or whatever, just before the game releases, about button mapping or whatever. So, you can actually work yourself around and then aim and fire where you need to go. Otherwise, you've got to try and aim and then look where you're going, then hit the Y button, like tap it or whatever, to try and fire your arrow, sort of thing. But anyway, moving on from that. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Do you know what? I'm still of mixed opinions of that. I wasn't thinking this is going to be the be-all and end-all of Pokemon games. Now, I've been out of the Pokemon for absolute aeons now. I mean, I was there at the very, very beginning with Pokemon Red and Blue. I collected the Pokemon trading cards as well. My brother did too. We collected them at the same time. Then I sort of like passed them on to my brother, and then whatever. Kind of got back into it now with Detective Pikachu, the Pokemon, the special edition trading cards. Haven't got all the special ones. I got the base set because they're my kind of Pokemon sort of thing. I know it sounds strange. My Pokemon is Kanto. I got back into it with Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Got back into it then, but as regards to like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I did enjoy Aqua Sapphire. I must admit, I did enjoy that one. That was one of that's a remake of Sapphire, which came out God knows when. Anyway, moving on. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield, it didn't wow me, I must admit. I enjoyed the gameplay. It's very, very familiar to what you played before. This Dynamax feature, I don't know if it does anything special, to be honest. So it makes your Pokemon really, really, really huge. And then there's like Gigantamaxing as well, which was not available in the demo. It's just Dynamaxing. But you can only use it when you're fighting the gym leader in the demo. So you couldn't do it with the other trainers, but in the final battle with the gym leader Nessa, you could actually use Dynamax once, and your Dynamax Pokemon can fight for 3 turns, and then it returns to normal size if it's not killed beforehand, which happens quite a lot. So there's that. But to me, I mean, you make your Pokemon really, really large, and if your Pokemon's large and theirs is large, it's not really any different from when they were like smaller, really. You make your Pokemon are stronger, they can do more damage, but then so can theirs. So I don't know. I don't know. I can understand why they brought in this new feature. It's kind of like the special stones, the XY stones, Dragonite, or Charizardite, or Blastoise, that kind of thing where you can make your Pokemon a little bit stronger, a little bit more special, no? But in this, I don't know. I'm mixed opinions of that. Mixed opinions. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020 Tokyo. I knew I'd mess it up. Tokyo 2020. There were 5 available mini games out of, I think there was at least 30 or 40 that I saw. They're quite short, it's only like a minute. Some you can even play within 30 seconds, depends on how good you are at them. The ones that we played was karate, we played the surfing, 110 meter vault, skateboarding, and then there was archery as well. Good thing about it is that you can choose between a different kind of gameplay style you want to play. Some of them are restricted. There are 3 types. You can either play with dual Joy-Cons, you can play with a single Joy-Con, or you can play with motion controls. Now, when it says like single Joy-Con, well, single and dual motion controls, or then you can play with just buttons. Sorry, I should clarify that. So I played with the motion controls, and I very, very enjoyed it. But you do have, it's very, very fine. It's fine. It's small movements. You can't just be erratic with it. For example, like with the archery, you have to. I'll try and do it with the other hand. As you come up, you have both hands in front of you, and this left hand stays in front of you, and then you hold the R button with the right, and then you release with R to release the arrow. Now you actually move slowly with your left hand, with the Joy-Con in your left hand, but very, very slowly. If you move fast, it won't register. You have to move very, very slowly to try and find the angle, and then you go whoosh, and then it fires the arrow. Some people can pick that up easier than others. I won't go into that because there was a bit of a discrepancy with a certain someone, which I'm not going to mention. We don't need drama. We don't need to create drama on the internet. There's enough of that as it is already. The other games as well, like the skateboarding, you play with one and you move from side to side, and then when you're ready to go up a ramp or jump, you flip, and then you hit the L button or the R button, depending on which hand you've got the controller in, or which Joy-Con you're using as well, to do a special stunt in the air. So it's fun, all these little mini games, and of course you've got all your Mario characters, your Sonic characters. It does seem to improve upon Mario and Sonic at the Rio, wasn't it? 2016 Summer Olympics. I can't remember. I even had it. That's how bad I am. Oh dear. But anyway, so it seems to improve on that, but probably not so much. And, it's your mini games kind of thing in the form of sports. The karate was quite good. I know boxing's in it as well, but it wasn't one of the games that were playable in the demo. But I'm interested in that, and I will definitely be picking that up when it comes out this November. So, moving on now, we have Link's Awakening. Really enjoyed the gameplay. I love the aesthetic. It has like this kind of like toy, plastic clay motion kind of feel to it, sort of like Toy Story. They come to life. So that's the feeling you get from it, even though they're supposed to be, actual characters moving or whatever. They're not toys; they're actual, people sort of thing. It's just the kind of artwork that they have to it. And I never played the original, and playing in this, we're coming into it with, fresh eyes. So everything is new for me. Nothing feels familiar, though I do know who the characters are. I do know the story of it. I'm not, been living under a rock for the last 20 years. That game, I'm sure, came out much longer than that. But anyway, so playing it with new eyes, being able to see how it plays, and it was really, really great fun. One problem that I did have with it was graphically, funny enough. When it's on the TV screen, or especially on a large screen, it seems to have trouble rendering certain images. To the point like with trees and plants and bushes and things like that. It's not crisp, whereas all the other models and all the other instances that are generated are very, very neat looking. The trees and the bushes, they do look a bit scruffy for some reason, like fluctuations in the rendering or something like that. It's just something I can't quite get my eye on, kind of thing. Put my finger on it. But the gameplay I really, really loved. The aesthetic to it is really, really fun. It's colourful. It's got that, that original Zelda gameplay feel to it. The top-down appeal to it. The monsters, even though they're monsters, got this cute look to them. The dungeons are very, very not simplistic, but uniform in a way. And I'm really, really looking forward to the chamber dungeon, because you can actually make your own dungeons and put them together. That wasn't available in the demo, but seeing footage of that from other videos on YouTube, it just really, really blows you away, and it's really, really cool. And I do like how it's done, because all the dungeon rooms are all the same size, and then you can, when using the chamber dungeon, you can make them, fit them around with different parts to make your very own dungeon. I really would like to see what Nintendo does with that. Perhaps allow players to share them online so other people can play them. I don't know. Hopefully it might even stem onto a Zelda Maker. Moving on now, Axel, to Super Lucky's Tales. That was another game I played. It's a remake of the original. That was really, really fun. I really enjoyed that. It's another one of these like 90s platformers, collector-thongs. So you have to go around collecting gems and letters and all sorts of things. Really, really good fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I do love my 90s platformers. I say 90s platformers because that's like the era where they would just sort of just boom, like 3D platformers. So like the likes of Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and the likes. So I really, really enjoyed that. In fact, I enjoyed it better, I'd say, than Yooka-Laylee. Now, I played Yooka-Laylee. I know a lot of people were of mixed reviews, and I enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with it. But this game, it just feels right, sort of thing. Yooka-Laylee tried to be too much like Banjo-Kazooie, which was the whole general idea of it. But because it was trying to take on the identity of that, it failed to give it its own kind of identity. Even though I'm still looking forward to Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair when that comes out on Nintendo Switch later this year. Really, really looking forward to that. It's got slightly different gameplay mechanics to it this time, so it's a bit more like the Donkey Kong Country games rather than Banjo-Kazooie, so I'll be interested in seeing how that plays out. And it also extends and expands upon the universe of Yooka-Laylee, so that's great fun. Like I said, Super Lucky Tales, really, really good game. I enjoyed it. The gameplay was really, really good. Absolutely beautiful to look at. The combat mechanics, much like the Banjo-Kazooie games, you can swipe, you can tail flip or whatever. In this game, for example, you can use your tail, you can burrow underground, you can hit enemies from above, that sort of thing. Really, really good fun. Lots of hidden items and things to collect, and secret areas to try and find. I also played Hollow Knight, Silk Song. I never played the original, so this was new for me. I don't know, nothing. When I saw it before, it just didn't really kind of wow me, sort of thing. Starting to go that way, to be honest. By actually playing it, I sort of really, really do appreciate the cartoon-esque feel of it. The type of animation that they went for. The gameplay is really, really fun. Though I do find in the more difficult mode, it is exactly that. It is difficult. Probably not to Cuphead. Sort of comparison sort of thing, not up to their level of difficulty, but fighting enemies, you really do need to know their pattern and when to hit, and you have to take it in your stride, in your time to actually defeat enemies, because otherwise you just keep getting killed, which is what happened to me a lot. Moving on now to actual Gamepolis itself. So they had a concert in the plaza. They had a lot of contests, like cosplay contests, dance contests, Fortnite dancing, and all sorts of things. Lots of stuff was going on. There were plenty of conferences going on with a lot of heads in design and development, people that work for like Ubisoft Spain, those that worked in localization for games in the Spanish market, the European markets. The legendary, the rock daddy of first-person shooters was there as well. John Romero, the creator or co-creator of the likes of Doom, Wolfenstein, and Quake. He was there with his wife, Brenda Romero, as well. So meeting them in person was really, really good. Really, really good. It was great. You know what I mean? This is the rock god of video games, man. And I get to meet him in person. That was incredible. Now, I'm not a I'm not a huge fan of the likes of Doom or Wolfenstein or whatever. I've played them. I've enjoyed them, of course. But to be able to meet the person that actually created this, and this is what has stemmed on. This is what has created a generation of first-person shooters. It's what spawned the likes of GoldenEye or Call of Duty and stuff like that. It's taken it to a whole new level, and it all started with these games. And to be able to meet him in person, he's a really, really nice guy, really, really cool guy. My girlfriend absolutely adores the boots he was wearing. I know that seems strange to add in a video, but he was wearing these really, really badass boots and that glorious long hair of his. Oh, sounds like I got a man crush. I know. I'll move on. But yeah, just meeting him in person. Wow. Then Nintendo being the official sponsor of the event, they had their own booth in there, which was a lot bigger than it was last year. Massive, and it had all these games that were available in E3. The problem was the queues were massive. Really, really massive. Well, not so much massive, to be honest. Sorry. They were just... You could wait a long time in them, and even longer still when people kept cutting in front of you because their mates are playing the game and they start talking with them, and as soon as their mates are finished, they play. And because, unfortunately, a lot of the people there for Nintendo were volunteers, they didn't really have any jurisdiction or authority to say, hang on a second, back to the queue, there are other people waiting. I would like to see future events, if Nintendo Iberica or Nintendo Spain take a leaf out of Nintendo America's book when it comes to E3 with the Warp Zone passes, where people can actually book an appointment to play these games without having to wait a long, long time in these queues, because it's incredible. You're waiting over an hour, or inclusive even more so, to play these games, and then other people are cutting in front of you, and you think, well, what's the point? If they were to bring the Warp Zone passes, I mean, it's not like they didn't have a special area set aside for the press. Now, I went on the 2 days. Friday, it was open to the press, so the press could actually go in and play these games without having to wait ages on the other consoles, or, to play on the consoles down below. But on the Saturday, it wasn't open, and I just feel like that could have been a good potential opportunity there for the Warp Zone passes, where they could let other members of the general public come up and play these games privately without having to do the long waits downstairs. And I'm sure people would have appreciated it a hell of a lot more. And it would make them really, really interested and really, really wanting to play these games when they come out for the Nintendo Switch. Because that thing where if things are going good, it's going great, but when things start grinding on you, then it just ruins that experience in a way, and then you just can't enjoy anything else afterwards. Kind of like when you go to a restaurant where the food is absolutely amazing, fantastic, and then all of a sudden you find a cockroach in it, and then it's like, bombshell. Now nothing is good. Everything tastes horrible. Service is an absolute nightmare. That kind of thing. I'm not saying it's that same extent. I know a lot of people are going to be buying these games anyway when they come out just for the sake of playing them, but it does sort of, throw salt, makes the experience a little sour there. The actual stalls themselves, there was tons of stalls with merchandise from here, there, and everywhere. We got comics, manga, T-shirts, mugs, figures that have been imported from Japan, and there was a lot of them, to be honest. There was so many. Like I was saying about mugs, I also found a Nintendo 64 mug, so I just had to pick that up. I mean, hence the name. My Nintendo 64 is my favourite console. Now when I'm playing on my N64, I can have a mug of N64 coffee. Why not? Tournaments. There was a hell of a lot of tournaments going on there. Loads of tournaments. There were plenty for Fortnite, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, Clash Royale, I think, as well. There was something Clash related. Football, there was FIFA 19. It didn't have its own tournament per se, but it did have its own special booth as well that a lot of people were playing on a big screen. there was just so much going on, lots of stuff, lots of tournaments. Even like I was saying before, like with John Romero, they even had a try and beat the pro kind of area where people were trying to play Doom against John Romero and seeing if they could beat him, and just seeing these people just playing away. That was incredible, trying to beat the legend that is John Romero. I had a really good time there. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely be looking forward to going again next year. I really do hope Nintendo Iberica does take a leaf out of Nintendo America's book with this Warp Zone passes, even if you have to pay a little bit more, for them, to have a special appointment, just to actually play these games and enjoy them. Make it so that only My Nintendo users, for example, can log in or whatever. But it just help that little bit more. It really would. There were conferences, like I said before. There was live music and all sorts. Really great fun. Really enjoyed my time there. If I could spend longer there, I would. But then I need to actually report on this stuff too, So back to the office, I'm afraid, for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video and you'd like to see more of our content, then please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, MikeTendo64 Gaming. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we're also on Tumblr as well. If you'd like to stay up to date with all our latest news, reviews, personal views, interviews, giveaways, and so much more, then please be sure to go to www.miketendo64.com. And without further ado, guys and girls, I'm going to leave you to it, because I'm pretty sure that like 27 minutes of your time is far too long. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.